We're at Pythian Castle in Springfield, Missouri. It's Midwest Ghost Hunters and Dark Matter, our podcast that we do here every weekend. We were going to have one of our listeners on this weekend, but I was talking to her, and this weekend it turns out wasn't going to work for her because...
Too bad, missed your shot.
Well, because it's apparently her birthday, and for her birthday, they were going on the Haunted River Float.
What's that?
I didn't know, so I had to look it up. It's at Ruby's Landing, which I don't know what is. I've never heard of that. It looks like they do. It looks like a campsite. It looks like a nice one, an RV park campsite. They do have a wedding chapel there apparently, but they do this Haunted River Float that I can't pretend to know anything about.
Have you ever heard of a haunted river? That's a first for me.
I've never heard of that.
It's probably just a river that.
It's probably just a river full of ghosts.
Is it kind of like a cornfield maze where
I don't
people
know.
hide?
Well, how do you do that on water? You got
mean,
Wolfman sneaking up on you in a canoe?
Okay, so I don't know, but...
Yeah, but if water supposedly causes paranormal activity, why couldn't the river be haunted?
I've been floating before.
Well, yeah.
And I've been floating past...
some scary shit.
It gets creepy out there, man.
Well, yeah, it does. But how do you do a themed float is what I didn't know. Like a horror-themed, haunted float. I don't know.
Have people dress up and hide in bushes and jump out and scare you.
I guess so. Yeah. Up in the trees and shit.
Unless this river actually has claims of paranormal.
I don't think so. I think this is just kind of like you said, like a haunted maze type thing. But anyway, if anybody's interested in that, they've got dates coming up in October, the 11th, 17th, and 18th, 24th, and 25th, and Halloween Day. I don't know how booked they are. Like I said, I've never even heard of this place before. But if you want more information about the haunted float, go to rubyslanding.com. And we don't have any connection with them, or we're not connected in any way. I'd never even heard of this till this morning when checking messages to see if we were going to have any guests on the podcast, and I saw that she was going to be at the Haunted River Float, and that's something I've never heard of. Again, it's rubyslanding.com if you wanted to do that. Can't pertain to know anything about it, but if you do, hell, send pictures, I guess. I'd be interested to see, what that's all about. We have, let's see, I'm trying to think of what we have planned for October. We do have a home that we could investigate. I'm talking to her now. I can't get a good handle on that one yet, but we'll iron that one out. And at one point, I don't know if we've ever mentioned this on the podcast, and I'm not going to say the name of the business, but there was a business in Branson. I was talking to them nonstop for like a week about coming down and doing an investigation because this is a business and their activity has gotten so bad that they're not even allowing employees to go in.
I really want to talk about this. I want to talk about the specific business. I know we probably shouldn't.
Why?
Because if it is what I'm thinking about, it's a kind of a strange thing. Can we just...
You could say what the business... We're not going to say the name of the business. We're going to say what their work is.
Oh, well then, damn, man.
Why do you have to say the name of the business?
Because it's going to give away exactly like everything about it. If I'm thinking of the same one...
Well, I'm talking about they do travel packages.
Not the one I was thinking
I don't know which one you're thinking about.
I was thinking of a different one. The Titanic Museum.
Oh, the Titanic. Yeah, remember I talked to
Which is supposedly haunted.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by that's strange, because that's a place in Branson, Missouri, which is very far away from the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, it's
not... but the idea behind that is that the items that they got are from the original Titanic, so things were attached to them.
Oh, we're doing the whole...
Yeah, it's an attachment.
I mean,
that's what they claim.
That's the idea.
So if you'll recall, was that last year or the year before, they invited us to come.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Yeah, I know exactly what happened with that. I shared it with everybody. It may have been longer ago.
Refresh my memory. What happened? Like what?
They invited us to come, and then whenever the conversation went a little further, I realized that they were wanting us to pay for an investment. So come on, we don't do that. Not saying we're too good for that. We're just saying we've talked about this before. The reason
not on
why
the podcast we have.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
I just listened to one. I just listened to one where we did.
Multiple times he's brought this up. This is kind of his passion point. Is he
I
doesn't
don't know
pay.
if everybody in the group agrees with it the same way, but I'm in agreement with you. Like I just don't like the idea of having to pay for an investigation.
And it's not because we're so important. We're not. That's not the reason.
No.
The reason is because once you exchange money to do an investigation, we've talked about this on the podcast because I said this exact thing that I'm forming in my head now. Once you exchange money, there's almost, for some people, there's almost a compulsion to find something.
Right. It's more of just like a principle thing for me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
But at the same time, I will come back in and say that if you're in a situation like where Tamara's at here at the castle, and she is going to be making payments, insurance, utilities, all of that stuff, and she can use the paranormal activity, and she can use the paranormal activity from the
that's
castle
not what I'm saying.
to generate
of
some money,
course.
then she is going to charge
Yes.
to do ghost
I
tours
just think
here.
it's
And
fair that if we're going to be doing it and we're going to be like drawing attention to the business and we're going to be
Right.
probably bringing people in, that is the payment.
Well,
I agree.
I don't disagree with you on that, but at the same time, in a situation like where she's at here,
Well,
at the castle,
that's a different aspect. If you're that's a business. She owns a business here. This is her business.
That's a business.
so is that one.
Yeah, but I'm saying we're not.
Right. I don't disagree with you on that at all, but I'm just saying I understand why some do.
I see what you're saying.
We've investigated. Yeah, I agree with that. We've investigated Pythian Castle. We don't pay to do it.
Correct, but most people do.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. She should charge everybody but us.
Yes. Yes.
That's not what I meant. I'm just joking. I agree. If you're a business owner, you should charge the public, to do investigations.
The commoners.
Because most people, they're gonna pay an ungodly amount to do that. I agree with that 100%. We're not gonna pay to
But
do it.
I also will come back in and I will agree with you that if you come in and I shell out $1,000 to go down to this hotel or wherever, and I've paid $1,000, I'm now really wanting to catch something.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That puts the extra emphasis on me to come in and say, okay, that wasn't an extra voice. That was in fact a ghost, and that's worth it.
We've talked about this before, but how many times have we went to a place and just been bored out of our fucking minds and found nothing?
Right.
Nothing.
No, that's true.
And
That's
then
true.
can you imagine doing that after paying $1,000?
Fuck no. I'm breaking out the spirit box.
Like that would be
And the
right.
dowsing
No,
rods.
that's exactly right. That's exactly what you're going to do.
I know. That's why I'm saying I hate that.
That would be depressing.
I'm just saying for us, I'm not against haunted attractions charging money at all.
No, I just don't. I don't like the idea of paranormal investigators paying to investigate.
And there are teams out there that will actually are doing this now. Not only will they charge a fee for you to come on any investigation you want. If you'll pay the fee, you have to pay the fee and you have to pay a gas charge.
And some of them even do like, here, you can use our equipment.
You can rent our equipment.
But you're going to rent it for an hour.
Yes. And we get, I'd say that's the number one question that we get. People wanting to I didn't even tell you guys about this. It's just now coming back. People wanting to tag along all the time. Talk to Tamara, and we're cool to mention that we're going to be doing tours here.
Okay,
we're going to be doing ghost tours.
I was getting ready to say...
Yeah. Yes, we are. I've talked to her. We're cool with that. We're going to be doing ghost tours. Our group, Midwest Ghost Hunters, will be doing the ghost tours here, the public tours at Pythian Castle. And we're even going to offer like a quick, I'll call it a class on paranormal investigating, our presentation that we'll do beforehand. That's going to start in 2026. There was this guy who emailed us, a local guy, and I'm not going to say his name. And I don't know if he listens to this podcast. I'm afraid if he does, I'm going to be haunted in the email from him because this guy emailed and said, I'm trying to think how it went because I was talking. We did one of our podcasts about, I don't even remember which investigation it was, but he said, "Hey, next time you guys go to Pythian Castle to investigate, I'm gonna tag along. I'm gonna tag along."
Oh, is he?
And I replied back, I was like, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Next time you guys investigate Pythian Castle, let me know when, because I'm going to tag along. I responded back, I said, we don't, that's not something we just allow. This continued for the whole evening of me saying, no, appreciate it. And then the person was like, they'd apparently done a tour or worked here or something, not worked here as in did tours and stuff, but like did construction, or they'd been in here before, probably just paid as a tour. But they were talking about, but you guys have never been down in the basement. It's like, yeah, the fuck we have. What are you talking about?
The basement?
I said, yeah, we've been downstairs. We've been in the tunnels even. He's like, yeah, but there are POW cells down there that you don't even know. I was like, we've been in those.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but you've never been behind the walls. I can get you behind the walls. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about here? And then when I finally said, you know what? Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate you listening and, being a follower, but we have to do this stuff on our own. We're not allowed to bring in, just extra guests whenever we want. And this person actually said, if I don't go with you, I can't save you. The fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Save us from what?
Okay, see, this is
You're the one I'm scared of.
Yeah.
We're getting very dangerously close to like a text that just says, "I like the shirt you have on."
Yeah, I wish I would have saved it. I didn't save it. The problem I run into is
No, I can't believe you didn't mention it.
no, I was at the gym when this all started. When I saw the first one, I thought I'll blow this off real quick. Just saying, we don't allow guests, man. I appreciate it. Blah, and it continued and continued and continued. And I had a million other things happening at the time.
Well, what
I mean, that's not the first person to ask to tag along.
that's the
but it
first
is the
person
first
to be.
to
That's
go,
the first
like-
person to presume they were coming.
Yeah, I mean, not the first person to ask, but the first person to just assume
There's
they are
nothing
going.
wrong with asking. You never know the answer till you ask. But to say, "Hey, let me know when I'm coming,"
The answer is no.
the answer is no. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But you're welcome to come to the event we do at Pythian Castle.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, for
anybody
sure.
can
That's
do
what
that.
it's for.
And and now we're gonna come across as hypocrites because whenever we do that, they're gonna be charging money for that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be charging money for that. We're not getting that money,
Right.
But they are gonna be charging money for that.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference between
You
business
should
is-
explain the difference.
The
Yeah.
business owners can do whatever the hell they want.
Here's the difference in what what we're doing and what he's talking about over here, where you'd be paying to go somewhere. If you are a novice and you're somebody who's always been interested in this and you have no idea about anything about it, this is your chance to come into a place with known paranormal activity, talk to people who have done this for 20 years, gain their experience, be in the fishing hole that is loaded full of fish, and then go out and see what you catch.
We can't guarantee you'll catch anything.
No, there may be
we
not a
can
thing.
guarantee.
Are you talking about here at the castle?
Yes.
We
Yes.
can guarantee that it's haunted.
Yes, this place has definitely had activity.
Here's what I'll say on that. I can almost guarantee you'll catch something if you'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Not to be rude.
People really need to shut the fuck up.
It's very difficult whenever you're in a group. I get it. You got your 15-year-old, you got your 3 friends with you. It's very tough to shut the fuck up. Very hard. I get that. But that's really the only way. That may make it less fun. But if you're wanting to catch audio,
Right.
that's the way. And this place is full of audio. I can almost guarantee that you would catch audio if you're just quiet enough to get it.
Well, but that's a problem you get into with a lot of public investigations in general.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
it is.
I mean, that's
because-
the same thing we ran into when we did the Carnegie Library downtown.
We should mention that we're the only 3 here today. Tyler and Hunter are both not in attendance.
They
Yeah,
ghosted
didn't,
us.
They didn't make it.
Right. So this would be a perfect episode to talk about Bigfoot if you haven't.
I was going to say, this is going to be a make fun of Taya episode. I don't think they're going to be here next week either.
Really?
They got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of stuff happening. That's okay though. We'll hold down the fort here. But anyway, the point being, well, yes, we're going to be doing ghost stuff at Pythian Castle. She selected us to do that, which is great. That's what we've always wanted to do.
Right.
And they are going to be charging money for that. Don't think that we're going to be sitting there counting out bills ourselves.
But again, this comes back to, and I would like to jump out here and say that there's somebody here named me who had no problem with that for places like Tamara here to charge because Tamara has got bills.
I
She's
never
got
have.
to pay.
I never have had a problem with that. If you're gonna be a haunted attraction, fuck yeah, you're gonna charge.
Yeah,
to-
I mean
for people
Tamara's
to come in.
got
She lives
real.
here.
Well, she's got real expenses too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. She got utilities and
insurance and,
all
and
that.
everything else. I mean, she's got tons of bills.
So yeah, that's the point of difference, and that's a position that's never changed. That's not a changed position.
Right.
Our only thing is we're not going to write a check to come investigate your business. We're just not
Right.
going to do it.
Right. Now, what about this place in Branson before we kind of got off on this? You made mention of
it's
that.
they do like travel packages, and I'm not going to go too deep into it. But anyway, I talked to them every day for like a week, and I think where it got hung up was because the last message I received said, "I'm going to send this to our corporate guy, and he will get in touch with you."
Oh, yeah.
Guess who never did?
Yeah. Here's the deal. I have been in these corporate situations, and I would love to see that guy go into a corporate boardroom and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
our location we own in Branson, Missouri, we believe is haunted, and we're going to bring in a ghost hunting team to find it."
But if it's
That
also
guy packed his desk and left.
they're also in a position where their local manager told them not to come in. They're working from home and they don't like it.
I understand that, but what he would have been better off to have done is left the word ghost out.
Yeah.
He should have come in and said, "Look, I'm going to hire a team of investigators who investigate these unusual circumstances,
Unusual occurrences, yeah.
and see what's going on. See if we've got some gas. See if we've got some electric issue. Which, by the way, we would have done all of that.
Yeah.
minus the gas. We won't have any gas meters. But the moment that he went in and said paranormal on this, it's over.
Yeah. We don't have gas meters, but if we see Ty pass out, then we start red flags go
He's
up.
kind of our canary in the tunnel.
cage. Yeah, we throw up the red flags when Ty goes down. But
and we do drag him out in the process.
we take him with us.
But when we see Tyler pass out in there, we're all leaving.
Here's the thing that scared me the most about that place, and I would still go, and we may hear back from them again. This may be one of those things where the corporate wheels turn so slow. Who knows? But the thing that scared me the most about that place was not the paranormal activity. It was the fact that she said, not only do we have significant paranormal activity, but we also have snakes inside.
Wait.
Snakes.
Where?
Inside the building. Now, this is I'm not going to get too detailed, but it's a big building. You're thinking of like a strip mall. It's not that. It's a standalone building that looks like I'm not going to say that either.
Well, yeah, we definitely don't want to say the name if they have just fucking snakes sliding around inside of it. They've got bigger problems. Handle the snakes first, then worry about the ghosts.
I think that they may need an exterminator more than they need us. And there are people that will go in and take care of that.
Well, they might need both. But I personally, if my house was haunted and infested with snakes, I'm going to deal with the snakes first.
I'm not going to deal with any of it because I'm not going back in that motherfucker. Not if there's snakes in there.
No. If you've seen more than one, if you've seen one snake in your living area, for me, it's time to move.
That's 100% too many snakes.
Yes. And I know it's hard to move. We talked about this when your house is haunted. You can't just pack up. Money's limited.
You can sure as fuck pop up a tent in the backyard.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like
I'm telling you right now, the day I see a snake in my house, that's the last day I fucking live there.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, we had snakes got into my mom's house.
I don't remember any fucking snakes in there.
Yeah.
Down in that basement?
Yeah, there was a copperhead that was coming up the steps, and she was going to pick it up because she thought it was one of your rubber snakes.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
Did.
I
she was
forgot
going to
about
pick
that.
She was going to pick it up. She's like, well, Chris left one of his snakes here, so I'm going to get it off the floor, and it moved.
Yeah, I remember that did happen. I forgot all
she
about
had that, and so she killed it. So I mean, there are situations, but those were isolated deals.
Yeah.
The house was not infested with snakes.
You don't just let the snakes stay. But anyway, yeah, they did ghost us. We never really heard back from them. At least we haven't yet.
What were their claims that they had?
Oh, they had lots of claims. Full-bodied apparitions that they would see and hear during the day. If you'll recall, that was the one that we first talked about doing a day investigation for, because that was what was going to work easiest for them. And that was when we got thinking, it's like, yeah, we could try a day investigation like that.
And by the way, after we have done those since then,
yeah,
I will tell you that I think that they're great. I think the daytime investigation is fantastic.
I really enjoy doing a full paranormal investigation and then not feeling like absolute shit afterward.
Yeah, I know.
Then the next day.
I know. Yeah, that was nice.
I actually, though, think that it's fantastic. And anybody that thinks that you've got to hit that 3 a.m. window, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I saw...
Yeah, we've had this discussion before.
Well,
about
but I saw and not to dive into too much stuff, but in all the years we've done this, I've only seen one full body apparition in my life. The only thing I've ever actually truly seen.
I've seen one here. Is that the one?
No, this is the one that we did in the middle of the day, where I saw. I mean, I'm telling you, I saw.
Yeah. So that's are we tiptoeing around not saying where that was on purpose because we haven't brought the evidence in yet?
I think so. That's where I assumed you didn't want to talk about.
No,
that.
That's a good tease for it.
Yeah, we could bring that. It's 417 Tap House. Now it's a place downtown Springfield. We did it during the day, partly because there's less street noise during the day downtown.
And I think that was 100% valid.
And that paid off. Yeah, it did. Because whenever we did hear what sounded like might be someone outside, we go over to the window and look. And you can see, it's daytime. You can see.
I've never believed in like, oh, we got to do it. It's got to be at night and all the lights have to be off. I don't think that really matters as much as people think.
No, I don't think it does either. I think it makes for a cooler visual.
It does. But I will tell you that I think that you're better off to do things in the middle of the day. And this is based off of this one we just did.
Yeah.
Because I've got a metric ton of stuff.
So what we're doing here is we've had to we've done investigations. We're kind of having to stagger them.
And a lot of that.
We don't do that all the time.
We don't. But we've had to do that for reasons because we're having to time out things with other, like 417 magazine. Had to time that out so that
they're writing an article.
With 417 Tap House, we got set a little behind because of the 417 magazine. So we've got 417 Tap House evidence to bring in. We were listening through some today, but that's where John and you, right? You both saw
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
We'll get into that when we talk about that.
Yeah,
but the point being, that was during the day.
Right. Is that all we're going to say about it?
Yeah.
We'll do.
I would leave it at that.
We'll dedicate an entire podcast to it whenever we get everything
I do want to
compiled.
talk about that because...
And we will.
Yeah, we will.
The other part of the problem you run into with this, too, is having the time to actually go through all of the evidence, because most people don't think about this, but like, let's take the tap house, for example. By the time that from the moment we push record on the body cameras, on the audio recorders in there till the end, there's 4 hours worth of recording time.
And
that's on every single one of them.
Not even to mention the fact that we videoed the entire podcast, or I'm sorry, the entire investigation.
Yeah, this was our first little beta test of our video system.
Yeah, it was all captured on video,
which I will say Tyler did a good job on.
He did, yeah. I mean, he videoed the whole fucking thing.
The whole time, yeah.
Yeah, the whole time. So my point being, it was nice having that video because we did it during the day. You can actually run that back and look.
Yeah.
And you can see shit because it's daytime.
It is an important thing to note what John was about to talk about because people don't think about this. You have one recorder, you stay for 4 hours. If you have one recorder, that's 4 hours worth of audio. But if you're like us and you have 12,
yeah, that's 48 hours of and you listen through, you roll through every second of the fucking
And
thing.
by the way, when you do that, people say, "Well, it only takes 3 hours." No, it takes longer than that because you hear something in there and you got to back it up and listen.
Right.
You got to back it up and listen. You got to back it up and listen. And then
it's double what the runtime is.
And then if it's something that you think is worth tagging, you'll tag it in there, you'll pull it off, pull the clip off, save the clip, and put it somewhere, name it something. And that whole process takes a long, long time to do that.
Another cool thing to mention, Ty mentioned this a few weeks ago about buying, even since we've done 417 Tap House, Ty has bought a new camera system.
Yeah, he's bought another one.
He's bought that, right? I didn't speak out of turn, right? That's been
it's been delivered.
I saw the shipping.
Yeah, I've got a shipping number if you want it.
It's coming. It's actually coming. Yes, he bought it.
Okay, so that's going to be
cool. It will be ours very soon.
Because, and I figure we'll talk about this on our next podcast. We've talked for a long time. We have this bad habit of talking about things we should do.
Really good ideas.
Really good shit, but then we never flesh it out. Or at least, we talk about it prematurely.
And honestly, sometimes you don't even do it.
In our defense, right? Like this last, what you're about to talk about is about kind of expanding our YouTube presence.
Yes.
And making a kind of a little bit more lighthearted show.
Yeah.
About just reviewing, or not reviewing, but watching and viewing.
Commenting,
giving commentary on like haunted movies.
Right, or paranormal shows.
Or paranormal shows, both. Right?
Yeah, B-horror movies.
Tyler and Hunter and I were going to do this. We had separate discussions because we all live in the same
They were
town.
going to cut us out.
We were just going to do a run of it and see how it went, right? Before we grab you guys, and it might be a disaster. So we were going to try, and shit just happened.
Yeah, it's
like I had my son was born, and I just didn't have the time. So we really were. We even had his like little studio up there, like ready, set up.
Well, but I think
the
that
TV can go here.
What you're talking about is what happens all the time. Because you mean to do all of these things, and then you leave here, and then all of a sudden you've got to put up Halloween decorations when you get home. You've got to go to swim meets. You've got to go
real
to
life
band.
Happens, right?
Like, that's very common.
I mean, a lot of people think this is, and this almost is like a part-time at least job.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think this is what we do. This is what we do for a living. This is how we finance our lives.
If we got paid for this, if this was our job, this shit would be done.
It would be done. Yeah.
Well, I had a guy, I was doing an interview with somebody about what we do. And this guy's like, okay, well, what other things do you do outside of this? What are your hobbies outside of this? And I said, dude, do you have any idea how much time this takes?
Yeah.
There's not really a lot. I mean, I do have some hobbies, but they are very, very distant hobbies because this sort of a thing will take an enormous amount of time.
Yeah, it does. Especially when, I mean, hell, I worked 50 hours last week at my regular job. I mean, it's very difficult to schedule these kind of things. But the point is, the original point I was going to make is we have scheduled, we've talked about doing this YouTube show for a long time. Yes, we're going to put our investigations up there. That's a process that we are aggressively working through right now, is to get our investigations, the video form, put on the YouTube channel. That is going to happen.
I just think it would be kind of cool because I don't see this on YouTube. This is an untapped little area of paranormal investigators that have seen some shit like us giving commentary on the shows that are out there.
Well, and that's what we're going to do.
And like, right. And like kind of discussing, because we've had topics before, we've had discussions on the podcast before about how, well, that's not really how it works. That's not really what happened. Because that kind of stuff, you know, it's Hollywood. Basically, like they're playing it up. It would be kind of fun for us to kind of give our comments on it. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm sure people listening are like, "Oh, sure, I'm sure you're gonna." Yeah, no, we're doing it this Friday. We're gonna do it.
Right. It's not gonna be posted this Friday.
No, it's not gonna be. But we're going to do it.
Yes, we're gonna set and watch some shit,
and we're gonna comment on it, and we're gonna get that on video, and then Tyler or Hunter is gonna do whatever they do with that.
They're gonna do the video editing part of it.
That part of it will. We'll
see how it goes. Look, I've said for a long time, I think our strength, if you want to call it that, put that in quotes. Our strength is we're not like speaking we're not trying to speak.
Yeah, I agree.
Our humor, in my opinion, is my favorite part.
I think
when I'm watching podcasts,
funny.
I like it when I'm laughing. I don't. You know, when we play an EVP and it's spooky, that's cool too. But I have much more fun talking about Tyler rubbing his nipples than I do.
And I'm not going to lie. I listen to our podcast. I listen to every one of them. And I am not going to lie. I backed it up about 15 times whenever we were doing the one talking about, the family member that was cursed. And Tyler was asking, how do you curse another person? And because he would curse his own family if he could. And you were talking, Dustin was talking, and he's like, you're just a fucking asshole, aren't you?
No, he called him a fucking piece of shit.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. You're a fucking piece of shit. God, I backed that up like 10 times.
That was so really funny.
But the point being, I think we're funny.
It'd just be
it'd be
even funnier if there was a camera on us.
Yeah. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to do it. If you've ever seen Mystery Science Theater, that's kind of the idea.
That kind of using that format, yeah. And like if anybody watches the very popular YouTubers, Red Letter Media, who are just fantastic at what they do, they watch B movies.
I need to watch that to see what their format
they
setup looks like.
watch B movies. They have a big show called Best of the Worst.
Does it show their faces?
Oh yeah,
it's not the back of their heads like Mystery Science Theater. Okay,
they are setting in they're setting in a room. They're watching it.
We've talked about this for years. Years.
There's so many bad paranormal shows. They're just it's just so, that we will, if we do that, we will never run out of content.
Never.
We could do it for 150 years.
I've got 26 seasons of Ghost Adventures.
I have a list. I have a list that is 3 word pages, 3 Google Doc pages long.
There's another paranormal team that I actually follow, and I love to watch their videos because they're so bad.
God,
they're so bad, and I love them.
They're more regional than local.
Okay, good. Recently started a new job, like I said, and I've been I drove my car with the sticker on the back, our sticker, and so now it's slowly spreading through my new workplace that I'm a ghost nut, right? Which I'm really not, but that's a different story. And so this one guy came in right to my office at my place of work, and I told you this happened. 2 or 3 of them came in, and they were all interested, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they were all volunteering. We talked about this. They're opening their They're letting out everything they've always wanted to say. And
people do
because they get comfortable, right? They're like, oh, you're not going to judge me. Oh, you also, you find a common ground there. So this guy was coming in. He wasn't doing that though. He, this gentleman who's a really nice guy. I'm playing fantasy football with him right now. He's a really nice guy. But he's also very religious.
Okay.
And he didn't come in with experiences, or he didn't want to come in and tell us about things he's seen. He came in with a warning.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to ask you if you guys had ever been warned of anything like this, because this is actually the 3rd or 4th time.
Are you talking about
Tyler has? Tyler has.
So if we, in general, we get emails before anytime we talk about doing an investigation, someone will email us.
I mean, this guy was genuine.
Yeah.
He was like concerned for me.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm just worried that you don't know what you're getting into.
Well, he's not wrong. He's not wrong about that.
He said, this is very dangerous. What you're doing here is very, very. He's like, this is as dangerous as like being a SWAT team.
No, come on. Come on.
I'm not joking. And he was like, and you could be losing your life. You could be putting your family in danger. Like he started going down this route, and I was like, oh, we've been doing it for a long time, and nothing's happened yet. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you just really need to be, you've got to be very careful because what you guys are doing, you're messing with things you don't understand.
We're engaging in spiritual warfare.
We are engaging in spiritual warfare.
I will
he actually
say,
used that term.
Yeah, a lot of people have.
I will say that he is correct that nobody truly understands this and nobody can truly say they know exactly what it is. That part I will agree with the guy on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with him on that. Yeah. If that's as far as he took it, I'd be like, I'd shake his hand and say, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I was wondering what everybody's thoughts were on.
Are you talking about everybody being the people at this table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just have you ever given thought to it?
Of course.
I have.
Yes, of course. Whenever we did, I have. Look, anytime we do an investigation, we get an email from people. We get emails from people telling us to do our blessing ritual and do, whatever these weird things are to make sure that we don't get possessed, attached, whatever. I don't ever, I just say thanks for your, thank you for your interest. I don't ever launch into any kind of, lecture about. But we've, like you said, we've done this a long time, and we've been in situations like when we did the house that burned down in Willard. When we did that house, when I went home, I was actually, it's hard to say whether I was just shaken up. And yeah, I was thinking at that time, it's like, what if some of that shit followed, us home?
Right. And that's why, for the record, before anyone's like, well, these guys not even bothered by it, we didn't go back to that place in Willard. We never went back.
No, we didn't go back.
We didn't go back in there because we weren't really sure what's going on. We weren't sure that something wouldn't follow us out of there. We didn't want something to become attached to us. So in that situation, we did not. We just didn't go back.
People who have a deep religious or deeply religious, they follow a different train of thought than I do. Yeah, because they do think, they do see it as spiritual warfare, the good versus evil.
I think we're probably. I mean, I'm going to speak for myself because I don't want to speak for everybody in the group. But for me, I'm probably in the minority as far as paranormal groups go. With my lack of religion.
I don't have any either.
But that hasn't made me worried about things like at Willard. Because I don't know, you don't have to believe in the fundamentalist Christian faith to know that place was bad.
Yeah.
Something,
it was bad.
Something was evil
there.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And whether it was like the devil or a demon, that's up for debate. But something there wasn't right.
Whatever was there.
I went home that night. We were all shaken up. Yeah. We sat in a fucking driveway.
We sat in John's driveway
for what? Half an hour?
Yeah.
Yes.
And just kind of like held hands and.
Yeah.
That was a situation where anybody that after that said, oh, that wasn't ghost, I said, you know what? I don't care what you think. I really don't care because I saw it that night.
There was no debunking that.
I don't care what you think. And it was bad and it was evil.
And I went home. And this was before, I was married or had a kid or anything. I went home by myself and turned on every fucking light.
Yeah.
And sat there.
But that guy's not the only one, by far not the first, to tell us that this is very. I mean, hell, that guy I was talking about earlier who said, I can't save you if I don't, that.
Well, but I also think, though, that there are situations, and this is why I always get into it's probably not a good idea for everyone to go out and try to become a paranormal investigator, because there are people who have emotional insecurity, and there could be any number of things.
Oh, yeah, there can be, yeah.
That we don't know that something isn't going to attach to somebody. And it hasn't to us yet.
And let me also say, we've done these investigations for Christians, Buddhists, atheists, everybody. We do them the same regardless of your...
That's the point of investigating, is you got to take all that stuff and you've got to set it aside.
Yeah.
And no matter what it is, you've got to set all of it aside and you've got to collect what might be there. But I thought that was interesting when the guy came in, because look, the guy's a really nice guy. I'm not knocking him.
And he's not wrong either, in the sense that I do believe if the situations were lined up correctly, in my own personal belief, I think that there are people that are more susceptible to things being attached to them, just like there's people that are more susceptible to getting a cold than other people. A lot of that's going to depend on the individual, and if the individual's got some issues going on in their life, maybe they've got a family history of stuff like that, I think that there is a greater chance of something attaching to the person.
That one investigation aside, not one time have we ever done an investigation where the thought even enters my head, I hope something doesn't come home. Not one time.
A lot of groups will. I watch a lot of this stuff on YouTube, and a lot of them will start their investigation.
We used to.
Chris used to do that.
No, we used to. What we used to do is a little bit different. It's not what I was getting at.
We'd make a request.
We would make a proclamation like, "Hey, don't follow us."
Yeah.
Other groups will actually like have a prayer.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people will message us and say, a prayer of protection. Yeah.
Right.
And I guess there's a specific one, maybe, I'm not sure.
Well, I got news for you. I don't think that prayer of protection is gonna work in Willard in a situation like that house.
Well, I mean, if we've been, like I said, we've been doing this for what now? 17 years?
It's almost
A
20.
long time.
20 years?
Almost 20
Almost
years.
20 years? We've never done that.
No, we've never done that. And it's not to say that I don't even know how to put it into words, but people who, do follow a religion religiously, they've received different education on what these things are than our experience has shown us.
Well,
because a lot of I don't know specifically which denomination of Christian, maybe it's all, I'm not sure. They see, the King James, I believe, says in the Bible, talks about anything that speaks to the living is demonic.
Anything.
So
even a lot of people will say like poltergeist activity. Yeah, you think that's a ghost. You don't really know what that is.
Edwin Becker talks about that a little bit in that he says that you don't know what you're really communicating with.
No, we don't know.
And that's what I was getting ready to say, because I was watching this YouTube video of this guy. He's a former politician. His name is Bob Cranmer. You ever heard of him?
No.
He wrote a book. That's the downside of this. He wrote a book called The Demon of Brownsville Road, and it's about his family. He's detailing in this book, and he did this little YouTube interview with this paranormal group that I watched. It's a 40-minute interview, and he's talking about the stuff that went down in his house he bought and his family lived in for years. And the stuff that he's detailing in this book is stuff that we've all seen and experienced ourselves: whispers and noises and voices and footsteps that aren't there, things going missing, things getting replaced, poltergeist stuff, like moving an item from here to here, and undoing toilet paper rolls, turning on faucets, opening cabinets, poltergeist stuff. Right, all of it gets attributed to this demon.
He attributes it to the demon.
Yeah,
okay.
He's attributing it to this evil presence, and he actually says in the interview, like, I wouldn't do paranormal investigations. He's like, personally, I wouldn't, because I feel like you're putting yourself in a lot of
line
danger.
of fire. Yeah,
right. And it kind of mirrored. The reason I'm saying is it was weird because that was like a day after this guy in my work came in and said the exact same thing, basically.
Yeah, I will say that I can't say that you're not. I can't say that you're not, because we don't know exactly what you're dealing with.
Well, here's what I would say is we're not trying to change. We're not out here, on a soapbox saying we've experienced this, therefore you should believe this. Everyone should be thankful that we come into these all the same.
Yeah.
Whether it's an atheist, a Buddhist, a Christian, whatever, the investigation does not change.
Right.
On our end.
Right.
So we're not out here trying to tell people to not believe in whatever you believe in.
No. Whatever floats your boat, man. I thought it was kind of interesting how like some groups have different approaches to it.
Well, and then when it comes to the removal or the attempted removal of stuff like that, we don't get into that at all. But what we will do is defer them off to religions. Yeah. To try to remove that.
Yeah.
So I mean that's what we do, and then that's on you. But I'm
That's on you.
Well, I mean it is. I mean it really is. It's on you to decide. Look, I do believe in this religion or that religion, and therefore,
or do you want to? Yeah, exactly. Do you want to?
That's your call.
Call the Catholic Church, or do you want to call like a medicine man?
Right. No, really.
Yeah,
I mean
sure.
that's your call to determine which is the appropriate religion to use.
And that was one of the questions that when we did that Buddhist house many years ago here in Springfield. When we say Buddhist house, we're not trying to be. I mean, they had
a Buddhist shrine.
They had a whole shrine in their home, and maybe that's normal for Buddha. I don't know.
It is. But
one of the questions she asked whenever she was setting up the interview was she didn't ask us to do any specific rituals associated with Buddhism, but she did ask if we would be willing to respect the boundaries of their religion, which I said yes,
of course,
yes, of course, which we did. Now we're not going to come in and we're not going to do holy water and
I bet that's probably what she was just asking. Like, hey, are you gonna?
She wanted to make sure that we weren't going to go in and mess around with the statue they had and the stuff that was around it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And we didn't.
No. We
saw a shadow figure go in there.
Yes.
But we didn't mess with any of their stuff. Point being that we do respect the people's religion. We just don't come into our end of it with a specific one, as an undertone.
The big reality I would stress on this is I go back to Edwin Becker in the sense that you do not know what it is. Could it be demons? Absolutely. Are they all demons? I don't know. In my own view of things, we've seen these things that are evil intended, that I would position as more on the demonic side of things. And then we've seen things that are just random, things that will just a voice, that it doesn't appear to have any intent.
That's what I was going to say. What would be, if some of these things that we've encountered were demons, they're pretty fucking mild.
They're kind of stupid.
Well, we're there. This is your chance. If you're going to do it, you better do it while we're here. And we even announce when we're leaving.
Why is there a demon that's like talking about Mr. Cusich? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what? Why are you saying this?
Or one wanting John to come have sex with it.
Right.
Or the one that wanted Chris.
Right.
Anyway, the point being,
I don't have this. I've said this many times. I don't have this inflated view of myself or ourselves.
No,
where we're like these special.
We're not higher than thou at all. This is
sensitive, or what was that? Rainbow Warrior? Isn't that something?
It was Indigo Children.
Indigo Children?
Indigo Children.
I am not an indigo child.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. Did we look it up at that time?
Yeah, it means that you're sensitive to this stuff. Okay. You're kind of an empath.
I do believe that there are people, just like anything else. I do believe that some people are more susceptible to paranormal activity than others. But that's no different than I believe that there are certain people that have stronger immune systems who don't get sick as often as other people.
I think there's people who are more susceptible to it. I think that has more to do with their brain chemistry and things up there than it does their which religious text they read.
We're getting very dangerously close to that old topic of what do you think this is?
We don't know. Look, I'm going to say this.
I love that topic.
After we did our investigation,
I love discussing. I love talking about.
I know you do, because that's what I'm getting ready to say.
Earths
After we did our investigation of 417 magazine, we did a post. Me and John did post interviews with them.
I also did, but I guess
you were there when we all volunteered, and we were the ones who volunteered to do the post part, just for the social media part, not for the article. They set them up the night we were there. They said, who do we want? Who would be willing? And we said we would, because these interviews occurred during the day. The point being, one of the things I talked about with him in that post interview is he did ask, what do you guys think it is? And one of the things I did talk about extensively was your point of view.
I did too.
And I gave you credit for it.
I did too.
I said, well, we all have kind of different ideas of what it may be. For instance, Dustin comes from a position where he is, looks more into the multiple universe, interdimensional type stuff crossing over.
I love the interdimensional stuff. I just like, in my brain, it would just be beautiful and perfect if this could all be explained away someday by science. Right. Scientifically explained away. And how do you explain away some of this batshit crazy stuff we've heard?
And that conversation I had with him was like 45 minutes. 25 minutes of it was all about this and what you believe, what I believe, and what I think everybody else believes. John probably filled his part in.
Yeah, I did. I came back in and I said that Dustin believes this. Chris and I are more in this area here.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, at the same time, that could be wrong too.
And I told him, I said, I think
there's not even could be wrong. There's a high probability that we're all fucking wrong.
Well, I told him, I said, I lean in more into that these are dead people.
Yeah.
Not for any spiritual reason. It's just because some of the, intelligent responses we've had don't make fucking sense to me to be anything else. But I have no idea. This is way above my realm of understanding. Physics and whatnot. But I did talk extensively about your point of view.
Good. That's the right one.
So you were given proper props, it sounds like, by both of us. Okay, so anyway, yes, we're going to film our YouTube show this week and then start putting it together and get that up on YouTube soon. That's going to be cool. We've been talking about it for a long time. We'll give you more details as the editing process continues.
And more Dark Matter next week from Pythian Castle in Springfield, Missouri with Midwest Ghost Hunters.